that they told the judge they never got the money from the wire transfers. You know what kind of stunt they pulling over here, folks? It's called New York City Housing Authority conscripted Neva Harper into committing a crime of perjury in court, gathering those petitions with no heading, no title, and then taking her to court to lie because I was the one that was the guy helping her save her apartment. Here it is right here. You see it? You see the date? You got everything? I told you I wasn't joking. I told you I wasn't playing. Didn't I? I'm a former Special Forces Army Airborne Ranger with the 1st Battalion, 75th Infantry. I'm not Airborne Ranger Cook. Mr. Meeks, who's supposed to save me. But he doesn't have enough power. And guess what, Mr. Congressman? I'd like to tell this to you face to face. That's your face, and you know what I look like. Somebody needs to call the Civil Rights Commission to find out how come your district is being rezoned without the zoning board's permission. And guess what? Ask Councilman Amry how ticked off he is about that. They snubbed you, man. Snubbed. You got snubbed. You got snubbed. And you so scared of them, you won't say nothing. And you're going to keep your mouth shut and going to let them go ahead and do damage control? Are you giving them time to do damage control? You've had this for 2 months. Stop them from killing me. I'm a disabled... But Congressman, your special assistant, Miss Ida M. Smith, she's been kind of like breaking her neck trying to save me, so... I'm calling you to the carpet, making you accountable. Because you got to make sure that $20,858 stolen by Hosea Mitchell from North Fork Bank gets returned to Mrs. Green's family. Oh, everybody, get your money out of North Fork Bank. They'll let anybody come and claim that they're a family member and let them steal the money, and they've got no responsibility. Take your money out. Take your money out. Your political appointees that's rezoning this district illegally, outing whistleblowers, aiding, abetting, and giving material support for their people to commit crimes, have been caught dead cold and red-handed. And here's the proof that I sent all you the information. You got that? You got that? There's nobody lying. There's nobody playing here. But I'm going to go to HUD. You don't know how ticked off, because this is the evidence that Human Resource Administration, Adult Protection Services have been complicit with NYCHA. Why? How come my attorney sends them a piece of paper to demonstrate that clearly you guys misrepresented the court by sending me a check for the money you said you never had? And here's the mark-to-market Enron accounting practices of New York City Housing Authority. You bill me $166, but you're sending the rent out at $668, and then I owe thousands, and then you tell a white Jewish judge I'm hunting white women because I called Josephine Russo and told her, you've been committing fraud and I'm taking you to the disciplinary committee of the Bar Association? And you racial profiled me. Not a very good idea. Hits just keep on coming, Mayor Bloomberg. New York City Housing Authority Lockbox Unit on December 5th sent my mother, somebody they knew was dead for a long time. I even went to them right here and asked them to send a bill in my name. They wouldn't do that. But in order to cover up what they were planning, that's where you get knowing what you were going to do before you were going to do it. It was a plan. This proves it. That's connecting the dots. On December 5th, they sent my mother the money back. On December 11th, they went to court and said the money was never sent. Liar, 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 pants on fire. And then, when my attorney called them to the carpet on it, as you saw in the last piece of document, here it is. They're saying that they're sending me $415 back, but going to send my mother $116. What kind of cockamamie game is this, buddy? Here's the check. Here's the freaking check. Come on, here's the check. Come on, why your political appointees need to go to jail. I apologize about the English. English is my third language. That would probably make me more European than you, right? Now, Mr. Bloomberg, talk to me. 4 months to the day after Ricky Ricardo Morales said, "Don't bother us no more." You gassed this old woman like she was in a Nazi ghetto for the final solution. Then, here is proof, evidence of human resources aiding, abetting, and giving material support to that other agent, the sister agency of NYCHA, because now they're having me adjudicated, incapacitated. He's got no proof. There's something wrong with him. He's a shell-shocked vet. Now you see, you're abusing a disabled veteran, ain't you? You don't know what my disabilities are, and that's protected under the Privacy Act of 1974. So you create a stereotype disabled vet, and then I tried to get a jury trial, and it says right here that is my right. But guess what? Jamie Butch and the Freedmore Psychiatric won't allow that. There's too much information out. The neocons have been suckered into believing that if they don't go with these guys, they're not going to go to heaven. Somebody's lying to you. I sent to Jamie Butch and Ida Smith, Special Assistant Congressman Meek, Danya Freer, the court evaluator, Gary Leonardo, my attorney, my corporate attorney, Stephen Weintraub, told them to get in touch with NYCHA. Guess what? I asked Congressman Meek, I wrote a letter begging, pleading for congressional oversight. It never happened. It never happened. Now, this is me being a star witness for Creedmoor Psychiatric, where I put a Pelican brief together. That's right, a Pelican brief together for the Queens District Attorney's Office, and I was summarily dismissed. But it says here, you don't get to be the biggest head bosses of NYCHA without having sidestepped a few landmines and can muster a small army to defend their agencies. Drice contacted Mr. Oti of APS and told he has a conflict of interest should he be asked lots of questions and his neglect of Mrs. Franny Green's embezzlement of Hosier Mitchell embezzling $20,858 from Mrs. Green's account. It seems no one dared imagine Mrs. Green almost killing herself and hurting others had the gas been ignited and blew up the building. The gas was on for 4 hours before she was rescued, and I made it happen. But it's more important that you cover up the $20,858 that was covered up, and we have 2 city agencies in collusion doing that, trying to freaking kill me intangibly by your Human Resources Administration deciding to have me adjudicated, incapacitated, like you guys taught, the neocons taught Mr. Karzai of Afghanistan to have adjudicated, incapacitated, that converted Muslim to Christianity, so you can ship him off to the U.S. where he'll be protected as a political exile or something like that. But the best thing is Dr. Merle Robinson of APS in Washington said that I'm suffering from alcohol intoxication, alcohol dependence, ruled out bipolar disorder, and the presiding justice, I can't have those records sealed because I need to expose this. But the worst part that directly implicates NYCHA, right here. The apartment is in a building for senior citizens only. Got you, NYCHA. This is for senior citizens and the handicapped. I'm a 100% disabled vet. Why are you trying to get me out? Is it because you're trying to save your job? I think Tino Hernandez wants to go back to Puerto Rico and do real estate. Well, didn't the Daily News catch him stealing from the city? Because he was forging or doing something with them travel vouchers, so he ain't got to pay. And Human Resources is helping NYCHA get rid of me. And it says right here, Philip Drice will likely be evicted and possibly become homeless. This would be a severe risk and of irreparable harm to the well-being of Mr. Drice. You are not, your political appointees at NYCHA will not stick a piece of wood like this up my like your representatives of the New York City Police Department did to Mr. Louima. You got that? That was the stick, Mr. Bloomberg, that was served to Mr. Abner Louima. Remember that, Haitian? Remember? The Haitian blood is so foul. We created AIDS and we had to march on the city across the bridge from Brooklyn. This is my mother's death certificate. Okay? And it has my business address, and it was then corrected to my home address. My mother's death certificate, my domicile was 8909 162nd Street. Here is your own lease, New York City Housing Authority lease rules and regulations. The highlighted part, use of premises. To use the premises solely as a private dwelling for the tenant and the family, and not to carry any business, professional or economic enterprise, or any other nature, blah, blah, blah. That's why you see here that my own Haitian relatives, because of them 3 sugar plantations that I have worth $7.5 million that I can't go to my country to get, got my brother to sign some papers, and they used the wrong address. And so the Dowd Funeral Home had to fix it. I am what is called a remaining family member. Okay? And a remaining family member is entitled to succeed in the apartment. And I did that. And when Josephine Russo went to court and lied to Judge Kramer and said I was never on the family composition sheet, that's not true. Here's the proof. That's the evidence. You got that? That means they're caught dead cold, red-handed, committing the kind of crime that they need to go to jail for. I gotta take a break now. The phone's ringing. Love you, Mayor Bloomberg. Keep up the good work. To even more evidence of the complicity of Human Resources, Adult Protective Services Department, they went and conscripted Visiting Nurse Service. Went and conscripted them, and in talking to them, they found out that I lived in Asia for a while, blah, blah. Then they're going to end up bringing some Filipino over here thinking that's going to induce me into being more cooperative. Go and call my lawyer, Gary DiNardo, and said, I'm not being cooperative. That's because there's a problem here. You're trying to send me into some sort of, here it is. They made me an appointment to go into some kind of drug and alcohol treatment program. When I got there, here's the woman saying right here, referral to mental health clinic. She signed it. That's because I have a freaking anger management freaking problem. Dig it? With a lot of other ones. I just can't seem to disengage from that rape, killing, pillage, Special Forces Airborne Ranger, the great empire of the United States of America's very own suicide mission bunch of squad. But they taught us to actually go do it and come back. Now there's the Ranger Brigade. Okay? You got that? Please, 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 please. It says right here. Okay? I told them. After the Rangers, I went to school to be a behavioral science specialist. Worked in the first Freedom Houses. Behavioral science specialist. United States Army drug and alcohol specialist. Here it is, medical specialist. Okay? That's another college degree from Tacoma University. Here's me right here working for Freedom Alcatel, formerly of AT&T. This is me right here with AT&T. Went to school. That's my Airborne thing. This is a certificate of appreciation from the United States Olympic team. Okay? And this is my mother's thing right here, right after Pierre Drice. They went, do not go to Queens General Hospital. Do not go to Queens General Hospital. He went there, they killed him. She went there, they kidnapped her, sent her to a Jewish nursing home. And if it wasn't for that wonderful Jewish lady who adopted me as a Jector, just like Miss Elizabeth Laurenberg of the Madison Avenue Laurenbergs that adopted me when my mother was her French maid, I'd have been finished. This is me with Frieden Alcatel. What's this one? Phil Drice, top sales rep in revenue for the region. Right here, okay? I went to Catholic boarding schools, okay? Honorable discharge. Another one, honorable discharge. And this is my mommy. This is my mommy. And guess what she taught me? If you think education is expensive, try ignorance. That's Jocelyn Armand de la Tour. That's the former wife of Ambassador de la Tour. Here this is. The brother seen how I was taking care of my mother. He brought me into the lodge, Ezekiel Lodge number 5, Freemasons. And this is my idol right here. And guess what he said? The chickens are coming home to roost. And that's no daggone joke. And let me see if I got some. Dr. Aperoff at York College. I gave an award because he snatched me out of that psych undergraduate psych program, told me to go into marketing and corporate sales. Do you guys think I did well? Because this is Dr. Tube the Crusader, the newest superhero of the 21st century, looking to dethrone the #1 preventable health hazard in our great empire by the year 2015 with the AquaTube Plus. It's patented and it has FDA certification for the active ingredients. Okay, and this is the only war unit breath tester that can be calibrated. I sell the franchises. Please allow me to live in peace and make money so that I can leave the projects. I'm not project. You can't say you don't know about this, because when I went to the public advocate's office, and here's the stamp right here, okay, true copy of original, and here's the stamp where I got a stamp at the public advocate's office. I took the videotapes that your Inspector General's office had when I took her office those videotapes, and that's notarized true copy of the original. They sent the referral to the Office of the Attorney General of New York State. But it was during the time of the elections. NYCHA should be under investigation for civil rights violations. What is the epilogue of the story? I'm about to tell you in a minute. This is the carrot, Mr. Bloomberg. I'm showing you why legally I should succeed in this apartment. I hope it's palatable to you, sir. I'm not angry. I'm not anything anymore. Right Honorable Mr. Bloomberg. This right here is something you'll find very interesting. I'll read it for you. I have on this day conferred. This is from Gary Leonardo's letterhead. I have this day conferred with Richard Newmark of New York City Housing Authority, who informed me that the computer system of NYCHA has no record of the filing of a notice of claim by Philippe E. Drice, very truly yours, Gary Leonardo. And what's this? What is this? In the matter of the claim of Philip E. Drice, AquaTube USA Inc., estate of Altagrace, Drice et al. To NYCHA, New York City of the state of New York. New York City APS, NYPD, Fox 5 Television Network, and Stu Billett Productions. It's a pro se action by Philip Edward Drice. Is that the stamp? Does that look real to you? How come they don't have it? How come they don't have it? The plot thickens, sir. The plot thickens. Let's go to the next step. Veterans Administration. I am a disabled veteran living on little to nothing. Last year it was $881. This year it's $910. This is what I did in the Army. That's reforged in Germany, 1976. 1975, Special Forces Airborne Ranger Drice. See that beret, that black beret? Until everybody in the Army could wear it, and they changed the Ranger to the brown. That's the Airborne Ranger. Cook! Hey, is that you, baby? How you doing? I'm here today to speak on a number of issues, considering I woke up this morning and I have been invited to lecture at a community college in New York City. And I believe the professor of the course is the editor and publisher of an investigative newspaper, an online newspaper, the Black Star News. Now, we want to start from the most recent to the oldest. After I introduce myself, my name is Philip Edward Drice. I'm this guy. I'm the guy that's former Special Forces, United States Army, 1st Battalion, 75th Infantry, who went in there with a military occupational skill as a cook. Broke that contract. Volunteered for the Special Forces. Been there, did that. This is a picture of me 2,000 feet up in the air, jumping out of an airplane. Military ops. And at the end of all of that, you end up getting one of these. It's not a general discharge, it's nothing but an honorable discharge. They couldn't believe that. I'm just a little Haitian. Staffers in these political office have no respect for veterans. Unless you work there, like Lester Muse does for Shirley Huntley, gets paraded around the floor of the New York State Senate as a little puppet. You betrayed us, Veteran Sarge. You betrayed us, veterans. You got that high, and you ain't thinking about us. Now, let's get to the body of this story. Bill Thompson, Mr. Castell, and what's her name? Yvonne something. Jackson, Miss Jackson, and Mr. Castell. I think it was for Edward Castell. What did you know? When did you know it? And what did you do about it when you knew I was putting about 5,000 of these posters up all over the telephone poles in Queens County? All over the projects, from Queensbridge down to the Long Island Railroad in Jamaica. Ida M. Smith contacted you. Check the phone log from the congressman's office. Okay? Yvonne, you spoke to Ida Smith. That was my handler. That's who I reported to inside the congressman's office about my activities for the Thompson campaign. Monica Pringle, I came and brought you the evidence of the check of me not only doing this for free, but also canvassing for money. Okay? All of you politicians knew about it. Ida Smith, you was working in the Democratic Club on Linden Boulevard, and I told you I was going to put posters out there. You said, Ida Smith, don't worry about this area. We got them already, or we already got something to that effect. You all knew I was doing this. You encouraged me to do it, and you made me promises that my housing issues with New York City Housing Authority would be eliminated if I got this done. Ida Smith, you even told me to my face. Well, if you do that and you accomplish what you say you can, that'll go a long way to proving you're not crazy. Bang! Congressman Meeks. Oh, I'm sorry. Byron Simon, Chief of Staff of New York State, United States Representative to the Senate. Now you're working for Senator Hildebrand. What did you know about this one, brother? What did you know about this? You were working for Congressman Meeks when the federal whistleblower brought this to your office. What did you know? When did you know it? What did you do about it? You sitting with U.S. Senator Hildebrand. Byron Simon, what did you know? Oh, Robert Simmons, what do you know? You're the Chief of Staff, Deputy Chief of Staff of Congressman Meeks in the Jamaica Field Office. What do you know? Kim Fuller, Sophia King, Chief of Staff of Congressman Meeks in Washington, D.C. What did you know? When did you know it? What did you do about it? The housing whistleblower, Byron Simon, Chief of Staff of Senator Hildebrand. What did you know? When did you know it? What did you do about it? About the housing whistleblower and the redlining scheme of